friends, it's Pastor Karen with a Thoughtful Thursday. Hope you're doing well this week. I wanted to tell you a little story about something that happened between last week and this week and got me to thinking about um, how God asks us sometimes to wait for things. So I sing in the praise band at church, and we're still not singing live in worship services, so we're still doing some recording. And so last week we practiced for a while, and we probably got tired and we were probably fatigued, and it was the end of the night, and we were working on a new song that most of us didn't know. And it was a little maybe more complicated rhythmically than, and we were just struggling, and we really wanted to get it recorded, but we decided that it really wasn't ready. And that maybe if we just kind of sat with it for the week, that we would come back this week and work on it a little bit more, and then we would hopefully be ready to record it and use it for worship in the upcoming weeks. So just tonight actually was the second practice. So last week we kind of fumbled our way through and were kind of frustrated, and it felt really hard, and it felt like we were like never going to get it, and it was going to take a lot of work. But we all kind of went home this week and let it simmer and practiced a little bit on our own. And when we came back today, it was easy, dare I say. It just felt like we gelled all of a sudden. It felt like the song, like we understood the song. We could sing it easily. We didn't, spend a lot of time thinking about it. We just kind of felt the music and went with it. And as I reflected on that, I thought, that's sometimes what we try to do when we're kind of pushing against God's time, right? Where maybe we really think we need to get something done, or we want to do something or make a decision, and it feels really hard, and it feels really challenging, and it seems like we can't quite figure it out, and we're not quite together, and things are just messy and difficult. And sometimes most of the time, right? When we just wait, sometimes we just need to take a pause and wait a bit, and then it somehow seems that God smooths out those rough edges, right? Smooths out those difficult times, if that was meant to be. Maybe not just, recording a song to sing and worship. Maybe it's a bigger decision you're trying to make in your life or something you're struggling with. But sometimes we just need to take some time. And all over the Bible, we have amazing examples and, writings from the prophets that tell us about waiting. And so I love to do that. I love to do like word searches and things like that. And one of the things I found out is that the word that's used in the Bible for waiting or patient actually is an active word. It's meant to be an active sort of waiting, and being patient is an active. It's not being lazy or being passive or just like sitting back and waiting and seeing what's going to happen. There's some active waiting. And I think that that's a really, we saw that last week to this week in the praise band, right? So maybe we did some practicing on our own, and we spent some time with the parts that we were struggling with. And we did kind of our own work, and then we got back together. We had some people there today that weren't there last week, so maybe we just didn't have the right people in place last week to really make it sound good. But, we didn't just sit back. We did still some of our own work, and we kind of allowed that music to sit with us. And so probably one of the most commonly known scriptures about waiting, right? It comes from Isaiah 40, verse 31, that says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength." Who doesn't need some more strength nowadays, right, my friends? They shall mount up like wings, like eagles. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. But those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. Crazy, right? That we can see waiting, and hope comes in that waiting, right? We know that God's going to work all things out for good, just maybe not when we think they should get worked out, or the timing that we think they should get worked out. We see so many examples of waiting. The prophets, oh my goodness, they got these amazing words from God, and then they had to wait and encourage the people that maybe this wasn't the time, but the prophets were speaking God's word. Abraham and Sarah waiting for a baby, Elizabeth and Zechariah waiting for a baby, all the waiting that happens in the Bible. And we read in James chapter 5, verse 7 says, "Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for autumn and spring rains." Like, what would happen if the farmer wasn't patient, right? If the farmer said, well, I really need these crops to be done now, and started to pull things out of the ground, and they wouldn't be ready. So I wonder if you're struggling with something that maybe just feels difficult, and maybe really you're trying to fit the square peg in the round hole or something like that, that you're just, wondering, what's to come of this, and why does this feel so challenging? Maybe this is a good opportunity to take a pause, to take a deep breath, to patiently wait, to actively be hopeful. Maybe chat with God about that in your prayer time. Or maybe just kind of put it on the back burner just for a bit and let God do the work, and smooth out the rough edges, and kind of make things right, so that when you re-engage with that concern, or you re-engage with that question or problem, maybe the things that seemed difficult before no longer seem difficult, and maybe the decision will be an easy one. So again, just my thoughts for this week. Hopefully they help you. Hopefully you're, it's meaningful to you. And I hope that you can find some time to actively wait patiently this week. I'll see you next week. Take care, my friends.